Hello, 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 Facebook family. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me see if Tasha, there she is. Hey, uh,
Hey,
Facebook family, hi, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome to Bridging Through Conversations, beginning to close the gap. This is Spirit Love, Diane, and I love you, love you, love you, and there's nothing that you can do about it but love me back. So, Tasha.
hi, how are you?
Okay, guys, we have something for you all tonight. Okay, tonight we're going to be talking about Tasha. This your topic. Go ahead. What we talking about?
Well, first, let me introduce myself. Am I sounding pretty good?
You
Is everything
sounding
okay?
good. Just
All
move back a
right.
little bit. Move
Okay.
back so we can see your fullness. Yeah.
Okay. Well, y'all know who this is. This is Tasha, aka TC Knows. No, I do not know everything, but I love sharing with you what I do know. And I am so grateful that I am here right now, looking at you and you looking at me. And we're going to talk about a wonderful topic tonight. It is about being unapologetic. That's my superpower. Is being unapologetic your superpower? So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And I am excited to know and to hear what will be said tonight in the comments that will come in the comment section.
Yes. So, guys, please, please, please comment on tonight. Unapologetic is my superpower word or my super word, our super word. And as you know, when Tasha and I started this thing, that's been our main word. Our word for the whole year is that we are unapologetic about what we talk about and how we bring it to you, right? Because that's our truth. Oh, did we do the disclaimer? Okay,
We
I'm
did
just gonna
not.
say it. I'm just gonna say it. Okay, I'm gonna give a disclaimer. A disclaimer is that we are a conversation piece. I'm gonna put it together. Conversation piece that talk about any and everything, right? And we use conventional and unconventional information, right? And any and everything that we say is not to be offensive to anyone, any person, any group, or anything. It is just to speak our truths and what we believe, our opinions, what we think that what we know that are our truths, right? We are bridging through conversations, closing the gap, and all that we talk about is alleged to others, but are our truths. Okay, that's our disclaimer for our talk tonight. Okay, so hi Neen, how are you? Okay, so being unapologetic is a super word. And while we're talking, I just want to put this out here. What do you feel about this word being unapologetic? Because a lot of people use it as a negative thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it say that it gives you the free to just to say anything that you want to say and do anything that you want to do. But I don't feel that way about the word. What about you, Tasha?
You know what? At first, At first, I was a person that always felt the need to apologize, or to, even if I hadn't done anything, I would just want to apologize just to clear the air.
Right.
And so when the term being unapologetic started to arise even the more, I started to really think about that, because why should I apologize for who I am?
Mhm.
Why should I say that I'm sorry for being a person that genuinely loves you,
Right.
genuinely cares about you, or being raised as a believer? Why should I apologize for that? Why should I apologize for being enthusiastic? Why should I apologize for being loud? Because I've been told that. Why? Why should I apologize for who I am, who God created me to be? Well, first off, I have to be comfortable. I have to embrace who God has created me to be, first off.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that. And I like Need's thing. Unapologetic means to me not being sorry for the truth that you live in.
Oh, I
And
love that.
that is so true. And that's how I view being unapologetic and authentic about who you are, is being able to live in your skin, and not having someone to always dictate to you about how you should be and stuff, but just being true to yourself, being an
Yeah,
authentic person. And that don't always mean you being negative, like you're gonna say something that's gonna hurt somebody's feeling and you're not gonna
right.
apologize, about it. I just don't believe that's what unapologetic mean. Unapologetic
Yeah,
mean exactly what Neen says: living your truth, living
yeah.
you, being you.
That's right. That's right. And and I believe that we made mention of this before. This was in one of our conversations before. Don't apologize for something, like you said, that you believe in, that is your truth for you.
Yeah.
And don't make excuses for it either.
Oh, good, good, good. Go ahead, keep going. I like that.
Don't make excuses for it either. And I found myself doing that a lot too. I found myself making excuses, not just for me, to make somebody else feel okay or feel comfortable. I was the type of person, I didn't want anybody to feel uncomfortable, whether I caused something or didn't cause something. I didn't want people to feel uncomfortable. I didn't want them not to like me because I said something. I didn't want them to not be pleased with me because I said something or done something. Is I always made excuses for other people, and I always made excuses for things that I've done which I didn't feel I needed to, but because of the way I felt and the way I thought from things that I heard or seen directly or indirectly, I just felt I needed to make an excuse for that person or for myself.
For yourself, yeah.
And I was always apologizing for it.
Yeah, and that, sometimes that used to really like irritate me, because I felt that same way, that I always had to apologize to not talking, not saying anything, or being, within myself. I'm always apologizing, always explaining, to people who I am, and stuff. And sometimes I be thinking, why? Why do I have to just keep explaining to people, who I am, because they want you to be somebody else, right? They
Mm-hmm.
want you to be who you're not, right? And I think, like we talked about this before also, that is a hard life to live, to be
Mm-hmm.
somebody that you're not, you know?
Yeah, it is. And you know what? I heard somebody say, and I didn't realize the statement when I heard it, and I don't know why I didn't understand it. It's just like it went over my head. But this individual said, or I might have read it somewhere, reading something. But this individual said that that spot is already taken. When you're trying to be like somebody else and you're not being yourself, that
Yeah,
spot is already taken.
it is. It is. And then you know what? And then you know what? You trying to be somebody else, you don't know what the heck they going through, but
Right.
you so busy trying to live in the shoe, somebody else, or in the shoe that somebody want you to be, that you don't
Hmm.
even know what this road is going to take you down, right? So why not
Right.
just be, just be you, man.
Right. Exactly. And I like this comment that Vernie made. People will find themselves being uncomfortable with something about you, no matter what it is. And that
Yeah,
is so true.
yeah,
If there's something, that's another thing too. And we're still talking about being unapologetic. But I
yeah,
also want to say, because somebody might be listening or watch the replay that might, you know, misconstrue it as, well, if I do something that needs an apology, and I don't feel I need to apologize, and I'm not going to apologize. No, that's not what we're saying. If you know you've done something to, whether it was intentionally or unintentionally, to hurt someone because of what you said or what you done, yes, of course you need to apologize. But what we're talking about is being unapologetic about you,
yeah,
your personality, your character, who you are as a person. Okay, let me just use me for an example. I am a person, I like I said earlier, I was told that I was loud. I don't know if this irritates people, and it doesn't matter now, but I used to be a person that cared about what people thought about me.
yeah,
And I have been told by quite a few people that my enthusiasm, my optimistic, my encouragement, my inspiration blesses them. And see, what one person loves, another person will hate.
yeah. Hmm. That's
So
true.
should I stop being that optimistic, enthusiasm, encouraging, inspiring person because somebody else doesn't like it, because it might irritate them?
Yeah,
So that's what I mean by being unapologetic for being who you are.
yeah,
And I felt that I needed to apologize for being like that. And I just felt weird that I'm the type of person that, I was talking with a young lady who God has blessed us with, our family with, to be a part of our lives. And so we were talking about, just in general, us being who we are. And so when I was thinking about the topic, I'm like, you know what? I'm not even I'm not even gonna allow myself. I'm thinking this to myself. I'm not even gonna allow myself to even apologize for something that I didn't cause,
yeah,
because I didn't cause it.
yeah,
I didn't cause it.
yeah,
What? Oh, well, yeah, that is
yeah,
true, Vernine,
yeah,
because really, they really don't understand what they choose to hate. I agree
yeah.
with that.
Yeah. And I think that they sometimes, I think that sometimes when you so being yourself, is that the right way to say it? People get angry at you, you
They
know,
do.
when you're just you. I remember when we was in Raleigh, and my husband, he might be out there, I don't know. But when we was in Raleigh, I don't know if we said this before, but I didn't do a whole lot of talking. And as a matter of fact, I still don't. I do it on here, but not, a whole lot, right? And people will brand you as something because you're your authentic self and you're not who they want you to be. And so what I'm saying, if you don't fall in somebody else's way of how they would like for you to be. Did that make sense? Then
Yes.
they'll brand you as something, right? Because I was branded as being conceited, right? Because I just didn't do a whole lot of talking. But that's my genuine self. That's just who I am, right?
Right.
And I'm not saying that I won't, right? But I think that when someone is being themselves, I think that there's a way to come in and hold a conversation with an individual without trying to brand them and then hate them because of who they are of the or the character of what they have, within themselves, right? And that's what I get out of this. What Needs saying, because they don't understand what they choose to hate. They don't understand really what they're hating, because people never to take the opportunity to find out about the individual. They just
Right.
automatically just brand something in their mind about the individual, right?
Yeah.
For being authentic about who they are, because everybody is not a talker. Every single person in this world have different personalities, different
Yeah.
ways of doing things, right? And there's no way that we're going to know everybody's character, right? We're just not going to know everybody's character. So like we have bridges through conversations like now. Have a conversation, begin to talk to people instead of branding, putting a brand on them, of who you think they are, because they
Right.
don't do what you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And also it has a lot to do with assumption. And I always take the first three letters of that word and I highlight them. Because when you assume something, you
Yeah,
usually cause
yeah,
yourself to look like that. You just do. Never assume, like you said, get to know that individual before you make your final decision about them, because it will cause you to maybe miss something that will help you to grow as an individual.
right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I'm trying to read the last part of what Neen wrote. Wait a minute. Can you see the last part of what she wrote? Okay. Um, don't have that kind of courage to live outside the box. Okay, that's what she's saying. Okay, because it's not putting all of it up there. I like what she said, to go in both what I said and what I said and what you said, that they only get angry when they're afraid to live
Mm,
outside of the box. And they are envious because you are not afraid to live outside the box. And in some instances, some people wish they were you, because they don't have that kind of courage to live outside the box. And and I found that to be true. I find that to be true, that people are, the way that the way that they respond when they want to be what they see, right? Is
mhm.
that they're envious, or they'll start talking, about you, or you look around and they try to be like you. Why in the world?
Because they're not comfortable. They're and we have used the word a lot. I believe this is like a resounding um thing for us too, along with being unapologetic and being authentic, is and being uncomfortable. But the uncomfortable that we speak of is the kind of uncomfortability that helps you to grow.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, the comfortableness, that person is not comfortable with who they are.
Mhm.
So, because they are not comfortable with who they are, that's where the tension, the problems, the issues, the challenges come
Yeah.
in it,
Mhm.
because they're not comfortable with them.
Mhm.
Now, once you come to a place and you begin to embrace the real you, mm, once you begin to embrace the real you, and you become you begin to become comfortable with the real you, yeah,
Mhm.
you might come up on a decision that I don't like that.
Oh,
I don't like that. So
yeah.
guess what? Because they don't like that, and the individual that they are looking at or see, or and because they made that self-discovery about themselves, they it's like they immediately see it in somebody else. Because now you made the self-discovery about you, but you need to fix it now.
Yeah.
So now we're moving to being comfortable about embracing who you are, because now you see the real you, and now we're moving from that stage to being uncomfortable so you can grow and learn from that self-discovery.
Right, right. I like what you said about sometimes I make sure I don't want to put words in your mouth. Sometimes when you find your authentic self, you don't like who that person is, then you
Mm-hmm.
got to begin to work on that person, like
Yeah.
evaluate yourself to make that person better, because we do have some ugly sides to us. We
Oh
most
yeah.
definitely have some ugliness,
Yeah.
about us. And we do have to realize that even though we're unapologetic about who we are, we don't want to do it to again to hurt anyone, because you can be unapologetic in a nasty way, but you don't what well, me, I wouldn't want to be that kind of unapologetic. I want to be the kind of unapologetic that I just want to be authentic about who I am, my life. I want, but not towards, like, if I find that little demon in me that do some things that it should not do, I think then you should know how to put it under subjection, put it under some kind of control, so it won't affect somebody else in their life. Because then unapologetic becomes a weapon, to use against somebody else, and that's not what you want to do. That's just my opinion. Some people don't care. They just unapologetic about whatever come out of their mouth, whatever they do. But we're not talking about that. We're not talking about hurting somebody, because unapologetic in this conversation is not to be used as a weapon.
I like that. Being unapologetic is not being used as a weapon. That is, and some people will take that and run with it and use it as a weapon
Yeah,
intentionally,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's not a good thing. That is treading in deep waters. That is not good.
Yeah, like saying this is just who I am, and I'm not going to change who I am. Regardless of who you hurt, regardless of what what you do, to the individual. Because I'm telling you something. Words. That thing we talked about this before too, and I was going to repeat it. When we was young, and we used to say that thing: "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt." Words hurt. Words hurt. And not only words hurt, but action hurt sometimes also. People always say, well, it's just, that's just me, that's just, who I am. But you got to think about, other people's feelings also. You don't just do things, just because that's just me, I'm just me, and I'm going to do this, and I don't care, what you think, because I'm just going to be me, right? ah, I don't, and that's just my opinion. Somebody out there may, have a totally different, view, on that part. But in my definition of being unapologetic, it has no negativity, in it. None at all. None.
Look, I can sum Vernine's comment up right now with what she said in a nutshell. I don't wish I at one point I said out of my mouth that, oh, I wish I was her. And then I had a lesson, and I realized that whatever a person goes through, whoever it is, don't ever want to be in that individual's shoes, because what they go through might kill you.
Yeah. Yeah.
What they go through might kill you. What I go through might kill them. Because, like you said earlier, people go through different things, and people have different personalities and characters and, emotions and feelings and all kinds of things. So, you, what I'm able to handle and take, you might not be able to handle and take. And that is and I'm talking about from a spiritual standpoint
Yeah.
and a mental standpoint and an emotional standpoint.
Yeah.
Because a person can be strong mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and not be strong physically. However, that mental state, emotional state, and spiritual state, I believe now, somebody might disagree with me, but in my experience in my life, that those three can outweigh the physical sense of strength, to me, I believe, because you can be physically strong, but if your mental state and your emotional state and your spiritual state ain't good, that physical strength ain't gonna mean nothing.
It'll break you down.
It'll break you down. So a person has to really, really embrace who they are,
Yeah.
to the point where they are okay with themselves. And I'm talking to me when I say this. I'm talking to me also. I'm not excluding myself out of this at all. But a person has to be comfortable with themselves. And I'm getting there more and more and more and more and more every day, to be comfortable with myself, so that I do not use being unapologetic as a weapon to give me the right to say what I want to say, how I
Yeah.
want to say it, when I want to say it, to whomever I want to say it to, and not apologize for it. That is the wrong attitude to have.
Yeah. We are not sovereign. I don't care what nobody say. Somebody, I was somewhere the other day. I can't even remember where I was, but they were saying that we were sovereign. We are not sovereign. We cannot do what we want to, when we want to, and how we want to. God is only sovereign, right? We do it. We do things, right? We do things, but it's not the proper things. It's not the way that sovereign should be used, right? We say God is sovereign. God is the one to do what he wants to, when he wants to, and how he want to do it. But when we do it, we do negative things, with that thing. So, we're not in that stage. And somebody might disagree with me. Everybody have their opinion, and because we said that in our disclaimer, that everybody have their opinion. But we just can't do that. It's just like and I might be what my sister always used to say, you just too nice. But I don't consider it I don't consider it just being too nice. I consider it being considerate of others. That's what I say. It's being considerate of others in your unapologetic, authentic self, but still being considerate of other people.
Yeah, that's being unapologetic has a process and stages to it. So I believe that being considerate is a part of that process
Right,
of being unapologetic. You
right.
have to be considerate. You have to be respectful. You have to show integrity. You have to have character. And, and definitely you have to have a loving heart.
Yes.
Have
Most,
to have a loving heart.
yeah.
And it just if you don't have those things, your life will be miserable.
Yeah. Yeah, I just when you said that, it just made me think about our society, right? Like what's going on, in our society, and sometimes, and not sometimes, but I think in some of those things, Nina, I'm glad you emphasize that more, because I was getting ready to actually emphasize it more. I'm getting ready to bring it up, but just like in our society, when we say unapologetic with some of the things that's happening, in our political ring and stuff like that, right? Uh, I see that, people just they do things. And sometimes I just be thinking, I say, God, did they even think about the other person? Are they even thinking about, what they're saying and how it's going to affect? It's going to be like a trickle effect, towards other people because of what's coming out, of your mouth, right? So when we say this word unapologetic, right? I just think people take it too far in the negative, on the negative side of being unapologetic, and just using your mouth to just say anything, with no respect of other people or anything like that. Just being, and I guess when we say be your genuine self, maybe I guess that's who the people are. That's their genuine self. But using it and not even thinking about, what's coming out of your mouth. You know what I mean?
Can I just I want to say something to that effect because, and you're right, I agree. But what about when something happens and it just, you're working hard on not, you know how I use my term, non Sunday school words, and you're working hard not to say those things. However, when something happens and it just, so now, okay, yes, it's coming out. And so the individual will apologize later because they have been convicted. And sometimes people won't because they're not sorry that they said it because, like you said, that's just them and they're just genuine in that moment. Um, in their response or their reaction to the situation. So I see it as okay, yeah, they said it. If they don't apologize for it, it's all right because I'm sure they meant it at the moment. And it's not like they go around always doing that. And they know that that's something that they need to work on, they have to work on, you know, when something might jump off,
Yeah,
that pops off, as the young people say. When something pops off, they, that individual might come out of their mouth in a way that is, I guess that's just going to be their reaction to that
yeah.
situation. So if they don't apologize for it, then okay, ain't my place to say you should. You got to.
Well, no, no, it's not our place because you have to be the one to be convicted, on the things that you say and the things, that you do. You can't, we grown, got 59 years old, people grown and they're going to say, what they want to say and they're going to do again what they want to do. And when I say sovereign, I don't mean that you can't do and you can't say whatever you want to say. I mean when it comes to sticking
Yeah,
and being divine and being in the spiritual way, that's God as being, sovereign. But like Neen said, is that every now and then it seemed like you would recalculate what you said or rethink about what you said and then bring it to another consensus on how you brought it out and apologize or either say it a different way or whatever. I just think again that that's just my interpretation of unapologetic is that it's not in a negative way, it's always in a positive way because
absolutely.
it's me. It's about being my genuine self, being who I am. And I guess again, I guess I say this: if you have a potty mouth, I guess that's just your genuine self. You know what I mean? You know, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
If
and you
that's
know
just
what?
you, and if you blunt, I guess that's just you. But I think I'll just always think that you should always think about, the other person, and how you say things. But again, I live in this unrealistic world sometimes. So, you know.
I say one thing that Vernice, she definitely is speaking. She's telling some truth here because, and I feel like this sometimes. Like when I say something, I'm very careful about what I say, how I say it, because once those words fly out of your mouth, you cannot take them back.
You cannot
They are out there in the atmosphere
in the
and you can't
atmosphere.
take them back. And
Nope.
so I'm just going to tell you, just transparent moment right here. Sometimes I get tired of monitoring my words and how I say it and what I say. I just want stuff to just fly out of my mouth. I do. I'm just telling you what I feel like. I don't always want to monitor my words. I do not. I don't always want to think about what I need to say, how I need to say it. But at this too, I don't always want to have to go back and apologize and repent for them words too, because that's a premeditated moment right there. I don't thought about what I said, and I'm like, shoot, I don't care. I'm gonna say it anyway. So I don't want to. I don't want to always do that. because
Yeah.
it don't make me feel good afterwards. And that's the authentic and genuine me. When I
Yeah.
say something that I know that's going to hurt someone, and I know I'm saying it intentionally, deliberately, to hurt your feelings, to cut you down. Now, let me just say this: I am not a person that intentionally hurts people. That is not me whatsoever. However, when somebody does something to me, I want stuff to fly out of my mouth, and I want it to come quick and strong, and I want you to remember it for the rest of your life. That's but you know what? It's like now God has me in a place where I don't even do that. And I'm like, what in the world? What are you doing? Why you won't let me say this? Why? So
It's not the godly thing to do. I'm
it's
not
not.
saying right now I'm just gonna say this. Let me put another disclaimer there for me now. I ain't saying that I'm always good, but I don't I'm gonna say what I need to say to you, but I'm gonna say it in a way that is not gonna hurt your feelings. It's not gonna hurt your feelings, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say what I need to say. And my boys always say, you always say things in a book, as a what a book would say.
The textbook way.
You be saying things in textbooks way. Or, Mama, I don't want to hear the scriptures. You just say what you need to say. I don't want to hear the scriptures. I say, oh, buddy, you're going to get some scriptures. Then I'm going to say what I need to say. Then I'm going to say what I need to say to you, okay? But yeah, but I understand that, and I'm not saying now you do. People do get, we do get really mad, especially with our kids, and we say things, but uh, but some of the things that we say to our children you don't need to apologize for.
Mm. Well, that takes me back to a conversation, a live that I done on my profile page where I said, "You owe me an apology." You remember that when I was telling you about that?
Oh
What I
yeah,
did?
yes.
I was like, "You owe me an apology for real." But you know what? It's okay. She felt she didn't need to owe me an apology. I'm all right with that. I'll accept
Girl,
it.
you
I'll
were
move on.
bold. I just want you to know you were bold. I am not. My mother, as a matter of fact, I think my mother is watching on here now, right? I ain't asking for no apology. You were bold. I just got to take. I know one time. I was gonna just take one time. She on there. She probably gonna say, you had to say that. One time, my niece was sick. Right? I thought she was sick, and normally I take my mother to church on Sundays. Right? And I wasn't gonna go because she was sick. The little girl said, so I didn't think that anybody was gonna go, right? And so I stayed home, girl. I got that phone call, and she was saying, I'm ready here, and I'm ready to go. I said, okay, let me go. So I went over there, and then when we got in the car, she started saying something. Oh, I said, you trying to make me feel bad? I didn't say nothing about you need to apologize to me or anything like that. I'm just saying, are you trying to make me feel bad or what? Because she was saying some things. First, I wanted her. Now, what I really wanted to say was that, right? But it wouldn't come out of my mouth because we was too close in the car together, right? And so, the only thing that I could think of was, oh, you're trying to make me feel bad, right? You know, but not to say, not to say you owe me an apology, nothing like that. So when I thought about that, I thought about you also, and I said, I cannot believe that she told her mama that she deserved an apology, right? I'm like, what in the world was she thinking, right? Because it couldn't even come to my mind. All I could do again was just say, oh, you trying to make me feel bad. You trying to make me feel bad, right? But not, you owe me an apology.
But you know what? When I said that,
Girl, and you know what? And that's genuine for me. That I am not
when
gonna
I
say that. Genuinely, that is me. That I am not gonna say, you owe me an apology. No, I'm just gonna say, you. Are you trying to make me feel bad? You trying to make me feel bad?
But when I said that, I did it jokingly. But then I thought about there were some things that I believe that my mother should have apologized to me for. I'm just telling the truth. I'm just telling you. And rightfully so, as a mother, I have done some things to my children, not intentionally, but because I didn't know how to do it.
Right.
I hadn't experienced this before. You know, when our children do something, we yell and we scream and say some non-Sunday school words. Now I don't know about you, like Spirit Love, but I have, and I'm not the type of parent to just like curse at my children. Like, just I don't do that. But I have had some to fly out of my mouth. Um, I already know that Vernane. She has already made that known that she's never going to apologize for something she's done. And which brings me to my next point: the mothers that you and I have, Spirit Love, and the mother that I met this weekend. Now, that is the kind of unapologetic life that is cream of the crop. Like, they are mothers, though, I mean, those serious, real mothers.
Yeah.
Yes, they admitted that they have not always made the right decisions. However, their way of mothering us was unapologetic. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah, you're right about that. And you know what, Tasha? And I don't have no complaints about it because I'm still alive today.
Come on. I'm
I
still
am
alive.
alive. I am still
Look,
alive today. Those whoopings were good at the time. You know, now I feel like that they was good, but at the time I didn't feel like they was good. But you
right.
know, I am a better person, here today. And I don't think and I agree with you, Tasha, that they unapologetically raised us the way they did, and it's fine.
Yeah.
We're alive. We might have a little bit of marks on us, but we still here.
Yeah. Look, it stuck with me. I've said this before. When our mother said to me, if you do something to cause yourself to go to jail, I will not get you out. You will stay there. At the time, I didn't know what color they wore in jail. But guess what? I really don't know now. Some people say it's orange. Or, well, I don't know what color women wear in jail. I have no idea. But it's that color don't look good on me.
I know that's right.
It don't.
I know that's
I'm
right.
I'm just not doing it. So even with my age now, and our mother still being here with us, thank God that she's still here. I'm not even finna do nothing now that will cause me to go to jail because she still means what she say. She is not spending no money to get me out
Right.
or any of her children for that matter. So her her way, your mom's way, my sister that God has, blessed us with, her mom, her way. Now I'm that's what I'm just being led to just say that their way of mothering us is unapologetic.
Yeah. Yeah. And ain't nothing wrong with him.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Look, even the fathers that, have been there and
Yeah.
are there, growing up the way that they grew up, they taught us what they knew what was best and they felt it. So when they felt something, they may not have always been in the place to be like, okay, yep, I made the decision, it was right.
Yeah.
However, they went with what their gut led them to do.
Yeah.
So with that being said, those fathers, yes, unapologetic raising, rearing of their children.
For the children. Yeah.
Grandparents as well, same.
Well, you know what? I totally agree with that. And with the area that we're getting ready to go into, I think that a lot of people need to hear that. And we're still talking about unapologetic, being a super word, because I think that when certain people were coming up, right? And I say certain because I don't want to say put groups or anything like that. I just want to say certain people, right? They felt like that the way that their parents raised them, that they would never raise their child like that, right? And sometimes I be listening to people say that and stuff, right? And I be thinking, God, but you alive, you know. I'm not saying that you take the whole bag and bring it, but you pull out those things that made you, right, that made you the person that you are, and instill that in your child also, right? But don't just say, oh, all that stuff, I'm throwing that whole bag away, right? Nah, you need to bring some of that stuff out of that bag and bring and instill that, in the children and our children today, because that is what a lot of our children are missing, and I'm unapologetically saying that, that a lot of our young people are missing some of that, some of those rules, some of that raising, that we got when we was coming up. And I know they say, that was old time,
That
you this
discipline.
age, and we don't do that stuff anymore because I call the police on you. No, some of that stuff need to come back. Dr. Spark messed up a lot of people, trying to talk about, not disciplining your children, even with a tap, and I didn't have to whoop my kids a whole lot, but I'm just saying, sometimes that tap does something, to the child. So I think that we need to begin to bring back some of that stuff, and again, be unapologetic about it and get our children out of this crazy vicious circle that they're in now, and they're losing their lives and stuff because there's no discipline, in the house. And that's going to take us into where we're going next week, Tasha. With our where we going. Go ahead, Tasha.
Well, we are transitioning to Clubhouse. So next week at Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Spirit Love and I will be taking Bridging Through Conversation, Closing the Gap to Clubhouse. And we are going to have a part two, actually. And we are going to talk about it because that space will be a lot. Well, let me just put it this way. That's the movement that God is leading us to. And so with that being said, if you are not a part of Clubhouse, the link is down in the comment section below. We will share it in the group. We will share it on Facebook. And we want you all to be a part of this, of our conversation. Join our club. The club is actually called, and I just want to make sure I get it right. I want to say it right. I don't want to tell you to. It is called Bridging Conversations. That is the name of the club. You do not have to have an iPhone to be to join Clubhouse. It is, you do, if you have an Android, you do have access to becoming a part of Clubhouse now. So just click on that link and follow us. Follow myself. I am on Clubhouse as TC Knows, and Spirit Love is on there as Diane Gillums, but I'm sure she will probably change it to Spirit Love.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but that's where you will find us. So next Monday at 7 p.m. So you will not see us here doing Bridging Through Conversation, Closing the Gap on Facebook. This is our last live here on Facebook. We're going to move the conversation to Clubhouse permanently until God says otherwise. But next week's conversation will be Unapologetically Me. I don't apologize for who I am, part two. So that is what we will be discussing because, hey, unapologetic, that's my superpower. I'm not going to apologize for being me, for being loud, for being enthusiastic, for being, encouraging and inspirational. And no, I'm not going to apologize for that. Absolutely not.
Okay. So, guys, please, 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 tell a friend, tell your loved ones to join us at in Clubhouse. And again, make sure, there it is. Okay. And I'm putting it out. It's in the comments on the Facebook page. Okay. So please, please, please join us. Yeah, there it is. Can you see it? I put it out
Yes.
on the Facebook page, and then I also put it out on Restream, so it'll go out to the other platforms. But please, please join us. Like Tasha said, with Clubhouse, anybody can come out there and voice their opinion. And again, anybody can join. So please, please, please take that link and join Clubhouse and come out and have a conversation with us. I know that some people that was on Twit and that was on Twit and that was on Twitter was trying to get in and have conversations with us while we were on Restream, but somehow or not, I don't know what happened. You weren't able to get in, but you can come in on Clubhouse and have conversations, have the conversation with us. So please go out and join Clubhouse. Join Clubhouse with us, bridging conversation. Okay, the link is out there for you. You just need to follow the link and join it. Okay, all righty. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So don't be here because we'll be there. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's right, girl. You're a mess. Okay, wait a minute. Let's talk about your last comment, and then let me see what it says. The more I grow in grace, the more I grow in grace, tag with mercy, being unapologetic for where God has me after chasing me, after chastising me, after my mouth because of how I got used to saying what I felt, had been a growing pain, but we're worth the journey. I praise him. And that is true. You know, when you begin to know, you know, what's coming out of your mouth, and grace and mercy most definitely keep us when we do, you know, have things that come out our mouth that's not pleasing to him. It is kind of painful because we're so used to being that individual, right? We're just used to being that
Hmm.
individual. And there's nothing wrong with it because you've been one way all your life, and then now, you know, God has see fit to begin to change you. It is kind of painful sometimes. Okay, so I like that. What you
Right.
got anything to say about that, Tasha?
I don't have anything else to say. And I appreciate y'all. Y'all know who this is. This is Tasha, aka TC Knows. No, I do not know everything. But I just shared with you what I do know about being unapologetic.
All right, all right, all right, all right. This is Diane, Spirit Love. And again, I love you guys, and there's nothing that you can do about it but love me back. And I am unapologetic about saying that because it is my authentic self on how I feel about people. Okay. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Love you. Again, 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 guys. Please, please, please go out and join Clubhouse with us because I'm telling you guys, if Tasha could tell you all of the topics that we already have planned for Clubhouse, guys, y'all will really, you know what? I know it's we coming to the end. We have really had some awesome conversations, you know, on Facebook and Twitter and Twit and YouTube and stuff. We have had some awesome conversations. But I'm here to tell you these conversations that's coming on a Clubhouse. Guys, can you just give them a piece of it? You remember any of them, a piece of some of them that we're going to have on Clubhouse, just to give you a broad idea of what's going to be going on in Clubhouse with us. And again, we have talked about some serious stuff, so we talked about some stuff, but we're going to talk about something that's even a little deeper, you know, on Clubhouse. As a matter of fact, guys, I was on Clubhouse today, and they was having a conversation about sex and masturbation, guys. That was, girl, on Clubhouse. That was an awesome conversation, guys. And that's the way Clubhouse is, y'all. And I'm not saying that the other platforms don't have the same conversations, but I think that in Clubhouse, people be more freely to talk because because you can't see you can't see your face, right? And you'll be free to say whatever you want to say and stuff. And that's great. It's great to be able to be yourself and just say whatever you want to say. But in Clubhouse, you can just
Wait a
go.
minute. When did you come on Clubhouse and you had a conversation about sex and masturbation?
I didn't hit somebody else. Somebody's Clubhouse I joined was having that. As a matter of fact, it was my cousin, one of my cousins. Her on her Clubhouse, they had that
Oh, it was in her
conversation
room.
in her room about sex and masturbation, and that thing was something. It was, guys. A lot of people don't want to talk about. That's what I say. A lot of people don't want to talk about stuff like this, but it needs to be talked about because a lot of people think that okay, you have different opinions on this. A lot of people think that it's a sin, which in the Bible, if you can remember when Judah, I'm just going to give you a little Bible study here. When Judah son died, when Tamar was married to their son, and the son died, and during that time, it would go down to the brothers, right? And one of the brothers, after that older brother married, and instead of him impregnating Tamar, he poured down and spilled, and God killed. He died because he was not supposed to do that. So what people say is that it's a sin, to masturbate, because that's a little bit like that, really and truly. He really did masturbate, right? And just spilled out on the ground, right? And they just say that it's a sin. But, other people have different opinions on masturbation. So that conversation talked more about that. And one guy came on there, he said, I just don't think it's a sin. I just think, he just gave his opinion on how he felt about it, to be able to be released as a man, right? And not harming nobody in doing this here, that's between him and God, and that God is all right, with him doing that and stuff. And females, the same, because a lot of people just say, just put it on the male, right? But females masturbate also. So, that was in that whole conversation and how they felt about it and all that. And those are the kind of conversations we're gonna have. Not that we haven't had some like that, but
Right.
we're gonna just go even deeper. So Tasha, if you got any, just give them a little bit of what we're gonna be talking about.
Okay, so I'm gonna start off with this one. So we're gonna one of our topics is gonna be talking about where did the term mother effer come from? This is the second one. I came a better me for me, part one. And part two is now I can be a better me for you, part two. Another topic that we will be discussing is dysfunction is more normal.
Yeah. Now I love that one. You just leave it right there. We'll stop right there. We'll stop
Okay.
right there. I love that conversation. We had that conversation, guys. I really want people to come out and say something about that because dysfunction, you may not believe this thing, but it is a normal thing. Because Tasha could say something and I might feel like, God, that's kind of dysfunction, ain't it? And then I could say something and say the same thing, but it's my truth, right? It's my truth, and that's just how I was raised. But other people may feel that it's dysfunctional, and it is a normal thing. I'm gonna stop right there because I don't want to say everything. I want you guys to come out and have that conversation with us, okay? So please, guys, the link is out there. Do the replay. Go back and listen to this again. Do the replay. Go back and go in the comments, and our link is out there for you to join us on Clubhouse. We will not be live Monday. We will not be live. We're going to be on Clubhouse. Can't say that enough. Can't emphasize that enough. We're going to be on Clubhouse. Tasha is going to continue to do her on-spot conversation. I'm going to continue to do my Wednesdays and Thursdays live, but our Mondays is going to be on Clubhouse. And you never know, the Wednesdays and Thursdays might go to Clubhouse. It's just according on how it go, okay, and what the other
Yep.
think about it, okay. All right, guys, this is it. I love you guys again, and there's nothing you can do about it but love me back. Peace.
Peace.